And we're back. And the other thing is, he didn't have, I think he had I don't know what it was. It was an old, I know he had a 14T square baler that was originally an engine baler, and they used it as an engine baler for I think a couple of years, and then switched it, got the stuff and turned it into a PTO baler. And then I'm pretty sure I know he had 2 big concrete upright silos, which those are no longer there. And then he had, and then he bought then for some reason, I can't remember what it was, and then he, of course, he always bought stuff at auctions that were, about beat to shit and no good. Because he was telling me about a time he bought, I can't remember what it was, brand-wise or what it was, but it was an old shit spreader that had the shaft running through the center and it had chain paddles on it. So I don't exactly know what brand it was or what it was for a shit spreader. This was all way before my time. And then he farmed quite a lot of land around here. I know he farmed a lot of land, and he was friends with 2 other guys that they were all buddies, and if one needed help, they'd all help. And it was back when, that kind of thing people still did, farmers helping farmers. Nowadays, around here, farmers are taking land, there's some land around here that one farmer hayed one year, then the next year somebody else was on it, and then I think last year, one guy was haying it, taking the hay off of it, and then somebody else came right in and was haying the fields. Oh yeah, guys around here, if you have rented ground or you just have grounds where it's a handshake or a word of mouth deal, where it's like, yeah, you can hay that field, you better not hope that land won't last long, because somebody else will be like, so is someone haying that field? And they'll go, yeah, so-and-so does. Well, if I do, I need the hay, so can I hay the fields? And that person will be like, either it's the landowner or what, I don't exactly know the full details of this, but I see it enough to see that that's how it goes. And of course, and my grandfather, so I'm assuming around the time that he got that Massey Ferguson 124 baler, because I don't think he was the first owner of it. I know he didn't buy it new or secondhand. I think we got it off of one of the guys that my grandfather's a really good family friend, or still a really good family friend. Got it off of him when he quit didn't need it anymore. Or I think that's how, I think my grandfather's owned it twice and that guy's owned it twice. But I could be wrong. But anyway, so he got the baler, my grandfather got the baler. He got out of milking cows, and I think he got out of farming completely. So the baler went back to the guy. Well, that guy used it and farmed, and of course I guess my uncle and my aunt, which is now passed away, which is also going to be part of this story, went to go work for the family friend milking cows down there. And so I guess the story goes that the story is that my aunt, so it was right around this time of year, I think. I can't remember when, but I know that they was putting silage up a silo. So I think, because I can't remember. I just know that it was fall, almost early, winter. And now my family, I think before then they preached a lot of the, PTO safety, but for some reason, my aunt decided to step over the PTO of the silage wagon. Well, I know it was actually fall time and winter time, because she was wearing like one of those big, like, coats, like I guess it would be like the ski coat style. I don't know what it was for a jacket, but I know it was like a big heavy jacket like one of these, but I don't think it was actually like one of these. I just know it was a big heavy jacket, and it got caught in the PTO, and well, she's not here, so Okay, so where I left off, where I was rudely interrupted, is that, well, she got wrapped in the PTO on that silage wagon because she stepped over it, which I'm pretty sure my family is very much against it, on, you know, getting on and off the tractor with the PTO on, especially with these tractors where they're technically these style like the CA and whatnot, where you climb over the back. So, you know, ever since she was killed, you know, my family's obviously been very safety conscious, and I think this would have been the late 80s, early 90s when this happened. I don't know. But anyways, so then I kind of got a faint idea of what was going on in the 90s, but not really. I just know that most of it, but I just know that, you know, along came my cousins, and, you know, we were still farming, not really doing a whole lot at that point in time. Here, there, everywhere. And then I think it would have been, well, then of course and the other thing about that, like the D19 and the 200 that he had, my grandpa had, the 200 was sold. I don't know where that went, but I think I know where it went. I'm not sure. I just know that there's a farm in the area that happens to have a 200 with a cab on it that looks awfully familiar, like the one I've seen in a couple pictures. Because that one I think used to have a cab on it. I can't remember. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. But I do know. And then the D19. Well, that was put up for sale. And it was before my dad met my mother. But my dad saw it for sale and he was going to go buy it. But my dad's father talked him out of that. He said, you're going to be carrying an awful lot of gas of that thing. Because, I mean, 6-cylinder gas. So my dad got talked out of that one. But I have a pretty good idea of where it went. But I do know, but even if I don't know where it went, I know where there's 3 D19s. And I know there's one over my dad's way, which I think that's the one that my grandfather used to own. Pretty sure it is. But if it is that one, that's gonna suck, because I'm pretty sure that engine's stuck, because the muffler is just laying right over top of the hood. So most likely the engine's fucked in that tractor. Then there's a second one, actually in the town that my grandpa Butterfield farmed in when he first started milking cows, before he sold that and went to go cut wood for somebody. And then whatever. There's one out on that road. That's a D19, and that, I think that's also a gasser, but it might be a diesel. I'd have to drive back by that and look at that one. But it's either that one, and then the second place I know that tractor, that D19 of his, might have been sold, is another farm in the area, and that they go by the name of Archie. And grandfather has talked about to me and my brother that it was sold out there, so it might possibly be that one. But I got 3 different tractors to go from. But I know the one I was talking about that is out on the road there where my grandfather used to farm back when he was going to first start farming on his own. I know that one, the guy's still using it, so he probably won't sell that one as cheap as, you know, but I'm not sure. So this pretty much wraps up the family history. Pretty much, I guess. But, I mean, I kind of like doing these kind of just sit down and talk videos. It helps me get used to the camera, especially if I turn it and have it pointed directly at me. Helps me get used to it, because it's either I gotta, you know, whatever. But anyway, so we're gonna, if you guys like me doing these kind of videos, I can keep doing them. But yeah, so that's kind of the family history. And yeah, don't know what else to say other than catch you on the next one, and remember to comment, subscribe, and like the video. That's about it. So see you later.